Working together. It's how we've always reached our best ideas. But today we're doing it remotely, flexibly, making it harder for people to click. Enter wireless conferencing with the conferencing button, and wireless collaboration with the quick button and collaboration app. You bring your own meeting on any laptop across any UC platform, seamlessly and intuitively share ideas. Whether in a huddle space, boardroom, or not in the room at all. Hey, what's up? ClickShare works with your existing room setup, instantly connecting your screen, speakers, hello, can you hear me? And microphone. Yeah, we can hear you. It's IT friendly too. With the Insight module, you can better understand behavior to improve your workspace. And don't worry, all communications are secure and encrypted. It's got everything you need to get teams collaborating naturally and more effectively. ClickShare. Great things happen when people click.
Hi everybody, and good afternoon, and welcome to this afternoon's Trend Talks for Connect 2021. My name is Simon Kitson. I'm the Smart Meetings Director for Maverick in Europe, and I'm delighted today to be joined by Dries Decroubele. I've probably pronounced that terribly, but apologies, Dries. Great to have you here, and thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, of course. Welcome to everybody who is watching. It's Dries Decroubele, but okay.
There you go.
UK English is good enough, close enough.
Thank you for putting me in the right direction there, Dries. So, I mean, interesting time with us, obviously all still in certain levels of lockdown and restrictions for travel and for using all of these wonderful meeting spaces that we have. But hopefully 2021, we're going to see people returning to the office. And certainly our feeling is that it's going to be absolutely the year of the meeting room, which I think is great news for Barco. I mean, what sort of trends are you seeing with your enterprise customers?
Well, indeed, as the work from home fatigue begins to take its toll, of course, the renaissance of the meeting room is well underway. So in our experience, the main topics of interest for our enterprise customers are firstly IoT. So the migration of the ClickShare devices from a standalone device that used to be in a standalone meeting room just for sharing your screen locally to a complete network connected device. In turn, this is of course allowing our customers to leverage XMS, so the remote management, and there is a reduced need for on-site support and corporate communication like this also.
Great, so that wonderful, simple click to share experience is still there, but you're getting this added benefit of IoT. Would you call it a sensor, Dries? Is it an IoT sensor, or is it just the data that is being collected from the usage of the button?
Well, it's also the data that is collected from the usage of the button, but also just the connected device into your corporate network. So you have some smart ways of communicating with it through our XMS. So the remote management for integrators or resellers or whatever is a very important part also. Just for the on-site support, you don't need to go everywhere anymore. You can see more and more and more and change more and more settings from in our XMS.
Great. So that I think is a nice advantage to the IT manager, the network manager, facilities guy, whatever it might be in an enterprise. But what about a smaller business? We're certainly starting to see, all across the market, whether it's the small 2 or 3 person organization or the huge enterprise, those smaller businesses are equally as important. And what products are you seeing requests for from those sorts of end users?
Well, for the smaller and medium enterprise market, we're seeing more use of a diverse meeting platform suite. So, meaning that our customers are having to approach these spaces also with a more flexible hardware solution instead of it being vendor locked like it used to be. Everybody likes to use Teams and Zoom and WebEx and BlueJeans and whatever all to each other. So also the rooms have to adapt to something like that. So it's very important that you have the right hardware also in these rooms. However, from a user perspective, of course, they're now realizing that they want the same experience, that they want to use the room in the same manner, that they don't want to change if it is a Zoom call or a WebEx call or whatever they are joining. So also, whether they are joining from home or in a meeting room, that should feel the same. So everybody just likes to use all these meetings from their own laptop. This is really a key differentiator in the bring your own meeting offering that ClickShare Conference provides compared to a fixed room system.
Yeah, got it. And I think that's a common misconception in a lot of ways, that Barco is just positioned into this bring your own meeting space, where you walk into the room with your device, you pick up the button, you click and you share, and away you go. But it's so much more than that. And obviously, Microsoft Teams rooms is a big growing market, and other lockdown platform experiences as well, whether that's Google or whether that's Zoom or any of the others you mentioned. So with these rooms that are being created with a if you like, a selected or a lockdown platform, how does Barco fit into those spaces and help improve the experience?
Well, you have two types of possibilities here, of course. With the expansion of our ClickShare app, the one touch, one join, one click to share principle, ClickShare CX is a good contender also for these rooms, when not yet installed, of course. When they are already installed, we have the classic ClickShare that works great in these spaces. Every of these spaces, the hardware types, they have an HDMI input. If you just connect a ClickShare, a classic ClickShare present range on this one, regardless of the user bringing their laptop, their tablet, their phone, they can quickly and securely share in the room at the same workflow that they are already used to in their classic rooms. So we definitely have a place in these types of rooms. Very important, this one.
Yeah, definitely. I think when we were talking before about the subjects we will talk about on this call, Dries, you mentioned something which really stuck in my mind, really made me think a little bit, is if you don't do that, if you don't add a ClickShare to an MTR system, for example, you're almost going back 10 years, aren't you, to having to, if you want to share something, to having to pull a cable across the table.
Yeah, pulling a cable across the table and only be able to share with one person at a time also in that Teams room, or everybody has to, for example, join that Teams call, but then you have sound issues, camera issues, a lot of squares popping up. It's very hard. You really are going back in time. If you just have our classic ClickShare into that same room, you really add to that experience. It's just a much better user experience, and you take it to the next level.
Yeah, no, it's a really valid point. One, I'll be honest, I hadn't considered before. So, thank you for that explanation.
No problem.
So some new products that came out in 2020, and in a lot of ways it was extremely unfortunate with the timing of the launch of ClickShare Conference, because as you launched that product, as we started seeing the first stock becoming available, that was when probably the first lockdown started to happen. And whilst we've seen some really promising results, I think there's so much more opportunity with ClickShare Conference. Yeah,
indeed, we were quite long way ahead of the first curve, but during the various lockdowns, of course, we've been using these as an opportunity to further enhance and develop the product, as well as extending the partner program. That's a big thing for us. Now there are more than 200 approved devices already, and it's still growing, and we are really investing into that partner program and making sure that everything works even better than you would expect it to work.
Just maybe for some members of our audience that aren't as familiar with ClickShare and ClickShare Conference, could you maybe just describe the main benefits of ClickShare Conference?
Well, that's a very difficult one, but yes,
I know,
of course,
it's a huge subject, I know.
Yeah, it's a huge subject, and you cannot just put it into one sentence, I guess. Our 3 words for describing ClickShare for the moment is simple, wireless. It's very important. Simple, wireless, and I even forgot the third one. Doesn't matter. But it really is the ease of use for ClickShare, for sharing whatever you want. Is it inside your own meeting room or in a Teams, Zoom, whatever room or call? It should be as intuitive as you like it to be. You just plug in a button, you press that one button, and everything does what you expect it to do.
Got it.
So that's a very important one.
Yeah. I think one of the things we're seeing more and more of is there's more rooms being equipped with good video, good audio, with a display. People wanting to come in and connect to that display and use the meeting room capabilities, and ClickShare Conference just really makes it so easy. You're not connecting one cable for the video, one cable for the sharing. Everything's done through the one button. And obviously the CX range gives us some great insights into room usage as well. We might have touched on a few of those earlier, but maybe you could give us a bit of a run through of what the insights are from CX.
So for CX, the everything we can do this from a couple of different perspectives now. XMS, Power BI, dashboard, share with FM to make future decisions about real estate is a very important one, to just see, okay, what are we going to do with this? With the CX app, the weird thing we see in both ranges, so if we talk about ClickShare Present or ClickShare Conference, the weird thing we see in both ranges, the most shared app is Teams.
Right.
So that's very funny. Very close followed by PowerPoint, of course, because that's the normal one. That's the one everybody thinks about. But this really tells us, and this validates our thoughts, that the users are expecting to host meetings from their laptops. So even when they are not in a CX room, they are just using their laptops to go into a call with somebody and then share their screens. The big problem with this is, of course, that they are not using room audio, room camera, whatever. They are just using their laptop audio and their laptop webcams. So this really shows us that the need for CX is a very big need that we cannot change for the moment. Talking percentage-wise, I thought it was 20% of the time Teams get shared and 19% of the time PowerPoint gets shared. So that's really that's incredible. We didn't think of these results, to be honest.
No, that is amazing. And people are now, we've all got decent setups at home. We've all managed to stay in touch. We've got our virtual backgrounds, and we're making a good go of collaborating and working over video, but I think it's really important that as people return to the office, they maintain that quality, and going into a meeting room and plugging in a cable or a ClickShare or whatever it is, and using the webcam from your laptop is really not the experience to have. So
no, especially not when, excuse me for
sure.
Dropping in, but especially if there are more people in the room than yourself. The webcam from your laptop is perfect if you're going on a one-on-one call or whatever, or if you join from home. But the moment you are in a room with 2 or 3 people and the audio is bad and your webcam is bad, that really affects your meeting, because the key thing for a video meeting is really to have that we can see each other, that I can see your body, that I can see how you are moving, how you are feeling. This is why we are having video chat.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's watching people's expressions and reactions. It's so important as part of a video meeting. You know, it's what helps break down the barriers of it being, you know, the good old days of audio conference calls. Nobody ever really knew what people's face looked like, and now it's a key part of every call. Dries, we've had a question come in, which I think is quite relevant to cover at this point as well. When talking about ClickShare Conference, what's the big difference between the CX30 and the CX50? I think then it's just kind of a note at the end to say that the spec for the video is almost the same. So what are the key variations between those two models?
Well, the CX50, of course, has more USB ports, has a faster processor, also very important one for the future. Indeed, we are not having big changes into the quality right now, but we are even ramping it up every day as we speak. With every coming update, we are ramping up the quality for video, audio, and whatever. And the CX50 is going to shine really into that part. It's just also a lot faster processor than the CX30. So we can go further with that one than with the CX30.
Got it. And this is purely for my benefit, Dries. Are there any limitations about the number of buttons you can use? Is there any difference between the CX30 and the CX50?
Well, we don't know yet. We won't give out an exact figure whatsoever right now. Why is that? Because we are ramping up resolutions and stuff, that really affects the bandwidth between the button and the base unit.
Okay.
So as long as we are working on this, we won't share an exact number. You know, if it is 5, 6, 7, 8, we still have the limitation on the exact number of sources on screen, of course, that you know about. But the number of connected buttons, there is not really, if you just connect them and not use them really every time, we won't have a problem in reaching, I guess, I'm saying 10, 20, 30, I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever is useful, of course. But when you are all streaming over that button, that affects the bandwidth. And then you get your video quality down. And that is something that we are very precarious of, because we do not want the video quality to go down. We are ramping it up. So we are changing that communication, well, not every day, but, you know, with every update, just to have it better and better and smoother, because we know that is one of the big advantages also, that it should just work and have good quality also. But I won't give you a number right now.
Sorry, I didn't mean to back you into a corner.
No problem.
It was, you know, I quite often don't get the opportunity to touch and feel the products these days, or certainly with lockdown, you know, I haven't had as much opportunity to see new products as I would have previously. So I was just interested to know, but I mean,
no problem. Some people are asking us this, and they just think we do not want to answer it or something like that. But it's really not. It's just because we are still making it better and better and better, and that impacts the stream. So the number of connected buttons just go up until we can really have a number and say, okay, we're not going to change a lot anymore on this subject. So it's not that we do not want to, it's just we make it better and better. So it's no real use to have that number exact for the moment.
No, of course. Well, it's great to hear that you're always striving for continuous improvement as well. Certainly with my background and knowledge of Barco in the past, you know, that's something you were always assured of a high quality product, and great that you're pushing the boundaries all the time to even fine tune it further, which is great to hear. So one of the other vendors that we actually ran one of our Connect events with last week was Bose. We've recently launched our partnership with Bose to sell their VB1 video bar solution, and I've seen recently that you're partnering with them. And what can we expect from that partnership?
Well, we actually have different kinds of partnerships, but Bose is really a ClickShare Conference Partner Program certified partner. So this is really giving our partners and our end users the confidence that they are buying into a tried and tested solution, not only now, but also in the future. Every time they bring up a new software or firmware, or we are doing it, it's always two ways of testing. So it's a very important one. We really work together. Plus, as we're both offering 5-year hardware warranties, that's a great message in terms of return on investment and TCO, of course. It's just a very interesting solution to combine.
Yeah, two high quality brands working together to produce a great solution, which is wonderful. And would we expect to see other brands coming into the ClickShare Conference Partner Program over time, do you think?
Yes, of course. We already have a partner program also with Logitech, Jabra, and some others even. And we really have a team that is working on that and nothing else. So stay tuned. There are some names following in the next few months.
Great. No, I've said on a couple of the other calls that we've run, I find it really refreshing that vendors are now able to work together. You know, it's not, oh, well, I'm forgive me for putting you in this pigeonhole, but I'm the wireless conferencing guy, I'm the video camera guy, I'm the PC guy. Now, actually, you've got all of those people talking together to put the best solution that they possibly can forward to the channel and to the customer, which is just great and so refreshing to see.
Well, I think it's really important. The case I talked about with the firmwares being tested in both ways. It's so important because we know in the last few years that was something that really was lacking on a few brands and companies, that they didn't do this. But we do see that we have to work together. And we also have the data to back us up. We can really say, okay, Bose, we have, for example, 200,000 CXs in the field, and now we are 60,000 of them are connected to a Bose. Why don't you work with us? Because we really want to make a better experience. And the moment we go with those kind of numbers to people, they are really, oh, okay, yeah, it is important to, and that's how it starts. And everybody is seeing that this is a very important way to go.
Yeah, I think you've just written one of our internal targets there, Dries. I think we'll go for 60,000 Bose VB1s and 200,000 CXs this year. That would be great.
That would be great. Yeah.
I'm sure Anthony would be pleased if he's listening. So
I was just giving out numbers, by the way. I was just giving out.
I know.
Not true numbers. No.
No. But I know what Anthony's like. He's probably written that down as a commit from Maverick. So great stuff. So I've got a couple of questions left. Just to ask you. You have many thousands of ClickShare units in the market, and what with the advent of hybrid working, what do you think your existing customers will be looking for? What will they be looking to get from their ClickShare?
Well, later this year, actually, we expect to pass through the 1 million devices milestone. So this is very significant for us, as we have a very broad and long-standing customer base who have been on their own workplace journey with ClickShare. So we expect to see a big jump in demand for our trade-in program, which is a very important one. Also, you can always trade in older for better prices and blah, blah, blah. Because the organizations really are ramping up their video-enabled spaces with a simple upgrade from their legacy ClickShare devices to a conferencing-enabled unit. One thing we cannot forget about this is how how bad it was for the market in short term.
Yeah.
It will give a positive effect on the market on long term. We are quite sure about this. Why is that? Because a year ago, you and me and everybody in IT and tech was already using video conferencing, of course. But the normal workforce was not using video conferencing, and they were quite afraid of video conferencing. If you talked about Skype for Business or Teams or Zoom, they went, ooh. But now, through COVID and work from home, everybody had to learn it. So for us as a company and you guys, it really has a positive effect for the mid-long term, I guess.
No, I absolutely agree with that statement, Dries. And again, if anybody has watched this series of talks, you've probably heard me say this a few times, but the office will become the place that you go to meet people moving forward. I think people sitting and doing emails, preparing their presentation deck, for staying on top of their general work, they're probably going to do that from home now, because I think we've all pretty much proved that we can be trusted to work remotely. But that human interaction will still be an important part of everything, and going back to the office to go and meet with colleagues in a safe meeting environment is what the office is largely going to be used for. And I know there are some functions that really need to be in the office or in the warehouse or wherever, but yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of spaces being recommissioned, and clearly there's likely to be remote users in all of those meetings as well. Yep. So you're going to need to add those people in and use good quality video and audio, be able to collaborate on documents. So it's been a tough 12 months, but I think we're coming out of the other side of it with a load of opportunity.
Yep, that's the same way Barco as a company is looking at it. So we really hope great times ahead.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Dries, we're almost at time. I'm just checking in the Q&A, and I think we've covered everything that's come through to us. So I think without any further delay, just thank you so much for your time. I found that really insightful. Appreciate you stepping in at fairly last minute to do this call. Really great to hear from you, and here's to a successful 2021.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to be here.
Thanks, Dries.
Thank you very much. Ciao.
Bye.
If you are looking for a better way of sharing content and collaborating seamlessly across your organization, then we have great news for you. Introducing the CS100 Huddle, the ideal solution for impromptu meetings and unbookable huddle spaces, where content sharing flows more freely and creativity thrives. The CS100 Huddle gives users the choice to share content via our brand new ClickShare desktop app or the optional ClickShare button. The unit can be integrated into your existing network and workflows, and the ClickShare app can be easily deployed across your entire workforce in line with your governing security policies. What's more, our management suite provides central management of base units in every corner of your office, enriched with self-diagnostics and insight on workspace adoption. Share content, pause presentations, and switch users seamlessly and intuitively from your tablet, phone, or laptop. Users can expect the same unified experience from Huddle to Boardroom. Find your perfect meeting and prepare your business to embrace the future of work.